What's up, developers? It's Mike here, and today we're diving into the screening interview, which is often the first step in your journey to landing that dream job. We explore what a screening interview is, what to expect, and how to prepare so you can make a great first impression. So, what is a screening interview? A screening interview is a meeting that helps employers narrow down the pool of candidates and is usually the first step in the interview process. It's conducted over the phone or via video call and lasts about 20 to 30 minutes. The goal is to verify your qualifications, assess your fit for the role, and decide whether to move you forward in the hiring process. So, what to expect during a screening interview? The interviewer will cover a range of topics to get a sense of your background and experience, and here are some common areas they might touch on. Resume overview. They'll ask you to walk through your resume. Be prepared to explain your past roles, responsibilities, and achievements. For example, if you worked on an e-commerce site, you might say, I developed a responsive website using Angular and integrated RESTful APIs to handle user authentication and payment processing. Make sure the information on your CV is legit and that you can talk about it without hesitation. Next comes the technical skills. They'll ask about your technical proficiencies by asking about the tools and technologies you've used. For example, they can ask, can you describe your experience with React and Redux? Here, you should highlight specific projects where you use these technologies and any challenges you overcame. Next up is culture fit. Employers want to see if you'll match with their team and company culture. They might ask questions like, what kind of work environment do you thrive in? Or how do you handle feedback? Be honest and give examples that showcases your adaptability and teamwork skills. Lastly, they might discuss logistics such as your availability to start and your salary expectations. But usually, few companies ask this question during the screening interview. They prefer to leave it to the HR interview, which is the last interview you will go through during your hiring process. Now comes the preparation. Preparation is key to acing your screening interview. Here are some steps that will help you get started. Research the company. Understand the company's products, missions, and values. This will help you with the answers and show genuine interest. For example, if the company values innovation, you could mention a time when you proposed a new idea that improved the project before. This research should be done during the job application process to maximize your chances of success, as it will help you out before you go through the screening interview. Now you gotta prepare for your answers. Anticipate common questions and prepare your answers using the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. For example, if you got asked about a challenge you faced before, you could say, in my last job, we had a tight deadline to launch a new feature. I took the lead on organizing our tasks and setting milestones. We worked over time and collaborated closely to meet the deadline. The feature launched successfully and received positive feedback from users. Next up comes practice, practice, and practice. Conduct mock interviews with a friend or use online tools to practice your responses. This will help you feel more confident during the actual interview. Just like practicing coding, you should also practice interviews. Next, set up your space. If it's a phone or a video interview, make sure you have a quiet, comfortable environment. Test your technology beforehand to avoid any last-minute glitches, especially with webcams, and make sure your entire setup is working and ready to go. During the interview, remember to be punctual. Join the call on time to show that you're reliable and respectful of the interviewer's time. And also, be professional, dress very well even for a phone interview, and your tone should be really reflecting professionalism. Be engaged, listen carefully to the interviewer's questions and answer promptly. Show excitement for the role and for the company. And also ask questions. Prepare a few questions to ask the interviewer. This shows that you're interested and that you've done your homework. For example, you could ask, can you tell me more about the team I would be working with? Or what are the biggest challenges the team is currently facing? To give you an example of that scenario, let's say you're applying for a front-end developer position, and during the screening interview, the interviewer asks, can you tell me more about the time you improved the performance of a web application? Here's how you might respond. In my previous role at XYZ company, we had a web application that was experiencing slow load times on mobile devices. I was tasked with improving its performance. I started by conducting a thorough analysis using tools like Google Lighthouse and Web Page Test to identify bottlenecks. I found that large images and unoptimized JavaScript were the main issues. I implemented lazy loading for images and minified the JavaScript files. Also, I used Content Delivery Network CDN to speed up asset delivery. As a result, the page load time decreased by 40%, leading to a better user experience and a 15% increase in user engagement. To sum up, the screening interview is your chance to make a strong first impression and move one step closer to landing your dream job. By understanding what to expect, preparing beforehand, and presenting yourself professionally, you can easily move on to the next interview, which most probably is going to be the technical one. And remember to always send a thank you email after you've done your screening interview to show appreciation to the company, even if that interview didn't go well. You can track your interview progress on the job tracker sheet we used in the previous day in this course. Let's find your treasure together, and I'll see you in the next one.